Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne.
And I'm kind of a little bit intimidated by this chocolate affair coming up, but I think it's going to be wonderful.
I think it's going to be fun.
I can't wait to test out these mini chocolate cheesecakes because there's so many different things you can put on them.
Oh, absolutely, the toppings. So it's going to be kind of fun.
Yep.
They're not real hard to make. We did put the oven on at 350 to preheat that.
Okay.
Because it's going to take 20 minutes to bake.
Okay.
We're going to start first. I'm going to put, it says 3 ounces of chocolate. It can be bitter chocolate, and I'm choosing the semi-sweet chocolate. And I actually, for this, I want to use a better chocolate because it's a little bit more of a...
It's smoother.
It's smoother, and we want this to be extra special. So
definitely,
I'm using the
Ghirardelli's,
and we're going to just melt this. And I'm going to put this in the microwave. It won't take very long, and I'm going to put it on kind of a low heat because we don't want to boil it. We just want to melt it. So we're going to put that in there. Okay, and if you do get your chocolate, fairly warm, you just need to let it cool.
Okay.
So we're going to try not to get it too hot so we can get just right on into it. It's asking for 8 ounces of cream cheese, so that's a whole package, and then it asks for 3 ounces of additional cream cheese.
Okay.
So we have another package here, and I will just cut off. 4 ounces would be half of this, so I just won't quite go half. And I did take out the cream cheese a little bit earlier so it would be softer, easier to work with. Because we're going to beat the cream cheese and the chocolate together.
Okay.
Okay, set that aside. And I'm going to check my chocolate chips here.
Okay.
I just don't want them to get too warm. Right away, it doesn't seem like that they are doing a lot, but once they start getting warm and they melt, it goes quickly. So we'll put that. And I can see that I'm going to maybe just need just a little bit more on that than I had, so I'll put a couple of more seconds on it.
Okay.
So we beat that, and then we use... there's sugar in there. There is, some vanilla. We got chocolate liqueur.
All right.
Really, to make that special. First of all, though, what I'm going to have you do, we have a little mini tart pan here.
Okay.
And we're going to add our little mini paper cups there. You can do that while we're waiting for the chocolate to melt. And this makes about 2 dozen. Okay. One recipe does. And one thing was so easy with this, the crust is going to be a vanilla wafer.
Well, how much easier than that is instead of making your own little crust?
Absolutely. So you're going to just put a vanilla wafer in the bottom of each of these paper cups. And I'm going to check my chocolate again.
Okay.
If I give this about another minute, I think we're going to be about right. Get my chocolate chip out of here. Okay, and with the vanilla wafer, you're doing it just perfect. You want to put the rounded side down in there, and that.
And I mean, it's something that you definitely could make your own crust, though. I mean, it's not hard to make a graham cracker crust or anything like that, but one of those little things when making something goes really fast.
Yeah, it goes fast. And, like I said, you can make your own graham cracker crust, but, the vanilla wafer is going to stay formed. It's not going to be as crumbly and stuff. So I think you're going to like that even better. And that's so.
Okay.
And that's so. I'm going to just double check that again here. Oh, it is starting to get that. Actually, I think just even mixing this with the spatula until it gets a little soft so we don't get it too warm might just be enough.
Okay.
And when I've made this before, I did use the semi-sweet chocolate. I liked, because you have some other chocolates and we can top it with some other chocolate shavings, you know, for some different flavors of chocolate. So I think you'd like the bittersweet better than just, you know, the real dark chocolate.
Like a bitter chocolate.
Right.
Okay.
I want to do it just a couple more seconds.
Okay.
And that, so I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be just a great event. Mm-hmm. I hear they had a great turnout last year and was really a big success. And it's such a worthwhile cause.
It is.
So
it is.
I think we feel honored to be asked to do this. So we're looking forward to this. Okay, this should about do it. And like I said, I didn't put it on high, you know, I just put it on, you know, about 4 power high, so it wouldn't get too warm. So like I said, this is just enough
just
here.
perfect. You just want it just to be melted.
Right, just mix that up. And I'm going to put it in with the cream cheese, and we're going to blend the cream cheese and the chocolate together before we add our other ingredients, because we don't want to over mix the other ingredients. Once we put the other ingredients in, it's just enough that we have it blended.
Okay.
But not, you know, whipped or anything like that.
Well, the nice thing about this recipe, you know, when I think about cheesecake and a baked cheesecake, at that, they're always such rich that, you know, you never have a huge slice, because that's so filling.
Right.
This is just you know, in these little tarts, just the nice little touch, and it's not overpoweringly rich with the bittersweet chocolate.
Absolutely. And you know, too, when you're baking cheesecakes, they usually take quite a long time to bake. Mm-hmm. And like I said, this is only going to be 20 minutes to bake. So we're going to mix this up. Okay, we've got this mix blended very nicely with the cream cheese.
Okay.
So we're going to add our other ingredients. It asks for 2/3 cup sugar.
Okay.
We'll put that in there. And then it asks for 2 egg yolks. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to save the egg whites to use for something else. So we'll put the
always thinking ahead, you are, Mom.
Can't waste anything. There's always going to be a use for them. So, and you know, eggs have gotten to be quite a, you know, they've gotten fairly expensive, and that not like it used to be. And you usually could get eggs, you know, maybe for 75 cents a dozen or something like that. Those are days past. Mm-hmm. So we're going to use a 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And
just as we're talking about this, I know I ask all the time about recipes, what you should be able to double, and I know that dough is never a good one to, you know, to double. Now, with a dessert like this, is this something that you can make maybe several batches at a time?
You know, I've not doubled this before, but you know, just knowing what you're putting in here, that would be no problem in doubling this. It's not going to affect, you know, the outcome of it. You're not having to bring it to a certain boiling stage like, you know, chocolates or candies or something like that.
Okay.
So now we're going to add some
chocolate liqueur.
And we're going to use, this is a chocolate liqueur, and it's a very good brand. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, for this we want, you know, a good brand. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of that. And if I run over a little bit, I think that's just going to make it better.
It smells great.
Doesn't it, though? So we have that in there. And then it asks for a tablespoon of milk. There. And it, you know, for the chocolate liqueur, it also recommends or suggests, if you don't have that, you could use a brandy liqueur or something like that. I mean, excuse me, an apricot brandy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we're going to blend this. And like I said, we're just enough so it's mixed.
Okay.
just scrape the sides of that a little bit. And then we fill our little cups, and it's ready to go. And so it's not taken a long time to put this together.
Okay.
And you know,
I see that we have some dried cherries over here. Do we put those in before we bake?
Yes, we're going to put
Okay.
them in before we bake them, but I'm going to spoon that in rather than try to do it with the mixer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But that's a good reminder because, you know, it's easy to forget. Okay, so just put that to the side. And it asks for dried cherries. So I picked up some dried cherries. And you can also use, say if you're using apricot brandy, it also says you could use chopped apricots.
Oh,
dried
okay.
apricots. So being we're using the chocolate liqueur in that, I'm going to be using the dried cherries. Now they're whole and you need to chop them. Well, my first experience of trying to chop cherries like this didn't work very well because they really stick. I mean,
okay.
put them in the food processor. They didn't work there. I used my food chopper. Didn't work very well. And even just a knife, it just sticks too much. So I found that I froze them.
Okay.
And then when I was ready to cut them, I just put a little bit of flour in there so it doesn't stick.
Okay.
And it chopped very nicely. You want it fairly fine.
Okay.
So it asks for about a 1/3 cup of dried cherries. So that's what I'm putting in here. Okay.
Let's get that all mixed up.
And that, yes. And you know, and the finer you can get your cherries, the nicer it is to, I mean, it mixes better, and each little cup is going to get their share of the cherries.
Right.
Because if you have them too big, it's not going to work very well.
Well, and that they're small, you actually don't even almost taste them, but I mean they're there. You got that just that little bit of a hint of it, but
Yes.
it's not an overpowering. Oh, that's a cherry inside of
Yeah,
chocolate.
Right. But cherry and chocolate goes together.
It does. It does.
So now we're going to, you know, I'm going to take a good spoonful here, and we want to make him, you know, we don't want to fill them overly full, but you know, one thing that happens with these when they bake and it's going to sink down a little bit.
Okay.
So, you know, you want to fill them pretty full, but not heaping. So, and we got to tell our viewers if they want to taste this, they need to come to the Best Friends Mentoring.
Yes.
Okay, well, we have all our little mini cups filled here, so we're going to pop it in the oven for 20 minutes.
Okay.
So, and we'll set that timer. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
We'll
they
just
they
set it
look-
on here for a minute. And the thing is, too, I said when they cool, they kind of fall down a little bit.
Okay.
And what's going to make that nice is when it falls down, we're going to put some fruit on top.
Okay.
And some shavings of chocolate.
Okay.
You know, so that will be a nice little added, you know, treat to it. So let's just kind of take those out if we can. Well, might be a little bit warm yet, so let's just give it a couple of moments.
Okay.
And you know, with this here, this is just a nice size, you know, treat. And that after you've maybe had a big meal or just want a little bit of something
Right.
sweet that you can
It's the
have one of
perfect little
these.
size.
But that doesn't mean you can't have two if you want it.
That's for certain.
Okay. And you can already see what happens as they're cooling a little bit. They're kind of falling down
Yes. Mm-hmm.
in the center just a little bit. And you know what we're going to do is we're going to top them with some delicious, some raspberries, and I've got some blackberries, and we can do some strawberries or whatever, you know, but we'll wait for just a few moments. But first, I got some chocolate here. I bought some white chocolate, and I bought some, it's intense orange chocolate.
Okay.
Does that, you know, just for some different palates, you know, that likes maybe a little darker. And I'm just going to use my cheese cutter and just make little shavings here so that we can put that on top. You know, I have not found, you know, sometimes you'll see where they really get those chocolates really nice and curled up.
Uh-huh.
I've not found a utensil to do that, so. And I probably just haven't looked in the right spot, so like I said, I found that this cheese cutter does, and it just gives you nice little shavings. You know, I'm going to just do a few of those.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do a few of the dark chocolate. And being the mini cheesecakes aren't a real dark color, it's going to look nice just to add a little darker chocolate on top.
Right.
And this chocolate actually has, I believe, some almonds in it. Little slivers of almonds.
Okay. Well, so you got the dark chocolate with the orange essence plus the almonds.
Mm-hmm. I just might eat the rest of this bar after, you know, after the show. It sounds so good. Orange, dark chocolate, and almonds. Those just sound too good to pass up. Okay, so what we would do, we would just, here, let's just set we're going to just set a couple of them on here. And just kind of show you what we would do. And, you know, use your imagination to what toppings you would maybe like. Like I said, you know, the blackberries are pretty big, but that's okay. You know, you can add that, and then I'm going to add a couple of little slivers of chocolate on it. And we've got some strawberries here. And I'm going to, just for a different color, even the white chocolate is going to look nice just to add a little extra, a little different color to it. There we go, add another couple more dark chocolates. And there's no reason that you can't mix the white and the dark chocolates together too if you would like.
Definitely.
So, and you certainly don't have to top all of them. Maybe somebody would just like it.
Would prefer a plain.
That's right. And they are very good just plain also.
They are. They're very delicious.
So you put that out to eat. Don't you think that looks pretty good?
That looks pretty yummy.
I'm just looking so forward to this event.
Yes.
And that, so it'll just be fun.
It will. It will. And to get this recipe, just go to Consolidated's website, www.ctctel.com. Thank you so much to the Worst Shop for being our sponsor. And as always, thanks, Mom, for being such an awesome cook and helping us out in the kitchen. Have a great day.